I use a microscopic game of pool to try and detect a quarter of the universe. So you may or may not have heard, but all the observations we've made about the universe up until now, from its very earliest moments to how stars and galaxies move around each other, tell us that 95% of the universe is missing. And a quarter of that is what we call dark matter, and that's what I study. Dark matter, as we know it right now, interacts with normal matter through gravity, but does not interact with light. And beyond that, it's pretty much anyone's guess. So one of the leading theories right now is that dark matter is a particle or a couple of particles that we haven't discovered yet. And over the past couple of decades, there have been a couple of really big experiments trying to figure out what these particles are. And what they do is they assume there's an interaction between dark matter and normal matter beyond just gravity. And they set up a bunch of normal matter and wait. They wait for some of that normal matter to get budged a little bit unexpectedly, which could signal a particle that's invisible to your detector coming in and colliding with your target. And despite the fantastic technological advances over the past 30 or so years, there have been no unambiguous detections of dark matter particles so far. And that causes new experiments, like the one that I work on, to really reconsider what we're looking for. So whereas old experiments have considered dark matter particles that weigh maybe the mass of a heavy atom, we're considering stuff that weighs about 1,000 times lighter. And this poses a huge problem for experiments because the experiments see an invisible particle coming in and colliding with a visible particle. So I like to think about this as watching a game of pool where the cue ball is invisible. And so old experiments would have a cue ball that weighs about as much as your dark matter particle, as your target particle, and they would collide. But new experiments consider stuff like a ping pong ball. And no matter how fast you throw that ping pong ball, it's not going to make your pool balls move as much. So this requires an incredibly sensitive detector, and that's what we're building. So we use a new type of material called superfluid helium, which lowers the mass of your target and makes it easier to move, and also allows us to use new types of sensors that are more sensitive to these small movements. So we use new materials and new sensors to try and identify a quarter of the universe. Thank you.